At the time I'm making this video is October 30th, 2024. 6 days from the 2024 election between Kamala Harris, representing freedom and constitutional republic, and Donald Trump, representing fascism and one-man rule. Last night, meaning October the 29th, Vice President Harris gave her final arguments to gain support for President of the United States, right on the White House ellipse, at the very spot that Donald Trump pushed a mob to attack the United States of America and the United States Capitol with the words, "Fight like hell. If you don't fight like hell, you won't have a nation anymore." But last night, Kamala Harris gave us an optimistic and united view of our country if she becomes the President of the United States. Not the hate-mongering that Donald Trump and his supporters have done. But I really want to talk about what happened last night with President Biden. Last night, during a Zoom call, President Biden said this.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Now, should Joe Biden have said that? Maybe not. Maybe not. However, that doesn't mean it wasn't true. And quite honestly, if I were Joe Biden, I would have gone even further and said, racist trash. Because we all know it's true. For the last 10 years, we have seen the worst of America. And that worst of America often wears the red MAGA hat. I've lost count of the people who have called me every name in the book, up to and past the N-word. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I have heard nothing but complete and total inhumanity from the MAGA. And I'm not just saying that only because of what happened at the Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden this past weekend. That was just a cherry on the top of a very big sundae when it comes to these people. And as for Donald Trump himself, he has called us every name in the book except the N-word, although he is getting closer and closer and closer to doing so. His supporters have done the same, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. Like I said before, Sunday was the cherry on top, and it just didn't stop with that opening act and that comic calling Puerto Rico a trash can island. I'm sorry, a trash island. He didn't use trash can. That was Donald Trump describing America, his own damn country he wants to lead. It didn't start with him, and it didn't stop with that comedian. It went over and over and over again for 5 full hours, from speaker to speaker to speaker to speaker, all the way to Donald Trump. So when the MAGA screams, hauls, and hollers about how dare Joe Biden and the Democrats do this to us, you people have been doing it to us for 10 years. You might have your BS condemnations that disappear in about 20 seconds when the MAGA actually asks you questions. But you continue to do it. Right now, I want to show you a clip. Now, I have to warn you, what you're about to see is extremely explicit. This is from a guy named Brandon Dilley, a staunch Trump supporter. He might as well be a Trump surrogate, who says some very damaging and hateful things about Puerto Rico, supporting the joke that was told on Sunday.
Furthermore, there is a concern among many MAGA regarding Puerto Rico. I have no fucking idea why. If there are Puerto Ricans who are willing to surrender America to communism over a comedian making a joke, fuck you. Fuck you right back to fucking Puerto Rico. If you are in the fucking United States of America right now and you're on the actual fucking the lower 48, you're there, you're not on your shit ass island, you have no right to complain about how people perceive your dirty ass island. Period. And if you're willing to vote or against Donald Trump because he accurately, or because a comedian rather, not even Donald Trump, but because a comedian accurately made a joke about the fact that your country, fucking nation state, whatever the fuck you guys are, territory is overrun with trash, fuck you. I expect more from Puerto Rican Americans. If you're a Puerto Rican, you know exactly what your problem is with your island. I've fucking been there. You can sell your bullshit somewhere else. I've fucking been there. I've seen how fucking dirty it is. I've seen the violent crime. I've seen the poverty. And I've seen the goddamn trash. And so, yes, there was a joke made at your fucking expense. And it wouldn't be funny if your island wasn't actually a floating trash heap. So, you're not going to actually impact this election in a negative way, no matter how much you virtue signal about this stupid-ass story.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Okay. You been there? How recently have you been there, Brandon? Seriously, how recently have you been there? And by the way, I apologize for even showing you that clip. I probably shouldn't have. But I think you need to understand why Joe Biden said what he said about Donald Trump supporters. This is a primary example of that. You see, the real problem with this is I have friends from Puerto Rico. The only real pitfall that Puerto Rico has ever had was when Donald Trump threw out paper towels instead of real aid after Hurricane Mara that struck there. Donald Trump withheld billions of dollars for relief. So, if you were there recently, you may be right. Because Donald Trump made it that possible. You see, the real problem with all of you in the MAGA is that you want to virtue sling. How dare we call you trash? Hell, I might not like how he said or why he said, but I understand the reason why he said. Look at what you've done over the last 10 years. Starting with the Golden Escalator speech that Donald Trump decried Mexicans as rapists and drug dealers, and everything up to Sunday at the Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden. Joe Biden didn't do this to you. You did this to yourselves. Joe Biden didn't push you over the racist rabbit hole. Donald Trump and you did this to themselves. So do I think Joe Biden should have said? Probably not. But I understand why he said, and I would have gone further by calling you and the MAGA who cheered and laughed at some of the most racist things that I've ever heard in my lifetime in a rally that closely resembles the 1939 Nazi rally in Madison, in New York City by Adolf Hitler and his compatriots. I would have called you all racist trash. And you know it. And you can cry about it all you want. You can scream I'm wrong. You can curse me to the heavens. But in the end of the day, you did this to yourselves. I and all of us in this country had nothing to do with it. This was all on you. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.